know. It's French.
Yeah.
Is that how you
think
say
so?
it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to do the pronunciation.
I really feel like I
should
should learn it just to stay consistent.
Yeah, you
And
know.
then never say LeBlanc ever again.
Yeah. We are probably butchering it for the French audience, perhaps. So we should do right by them. Next time, next week, when you come in, just make sure you're ready.
Well,
for the LeBlanc. And that's an interesting pick. We see that into Azir a lot. It's very mobile. It can get away from the Emperor's Vibes, obviously. Fairly easy. It can poke back. It can run around the soldiers. So in terms of just the matchup into Azir, we do see it pretty often.
Yeah. It does put SANDBOX on a little bit more of a clock, as there's a lot of champions here that can handle LeBlanc, but we shall... Who is it?
I think it's bonO. I was looking back and I saw Ucal with a giant grin on his face, and he gave bonO like the peace sign, so I think it was I think it's bonO.
For people here that are not at Lil Park and the audio is not picking it up, someone is having a feral scream.
Yeah.
As if they're being murdered behind us, and it is extremely loud.
Yeah, it's not quite a SoHwan Prince scream. It's not like an Exu scream. That's next level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the first time I've heard that noise in my life when they scream. But it's up there. It's definitely as you described it. And this is kind of what you were talking about, you know, the difference in the support champions that are going to come out because you have a top laner that's playing it. We saw so much Maokai, and then finally he's like, you know what? I'm feeling angry after that first loss. Let's do some damage. And he's going to go back to an old-time favorite of Smeb's.
And KT, it'll be interesting to see how they fare here against SANDBOX, who are really all in their team comp. Very, very, very red. And you notice very quickly that the Senna is a little bit out of place with the fighting that they're going to be trying to do. Now, she's going Glacial. She'll probably go Lethality, and that'll complement if Wukong does end up building the Black Cleaver, because Wukong can apply it a lot to a lot of champions, and then if Senna is pure on Lethality, then she'll get a lot of value. Smeb is 36 in 19, 65% win rate, 3.8 KDA.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, Valdez.
55 games.
Wow.
Of Rumble. Yeah, I did that in my head. I didn't even have to write that down.
Valdez, what's this?
Are you proud of me?
What?
No, there's nothing. No.
Turn off
pen.
your phone.
And, of course, Smeb is, you know, he's been around for a long time. He knows how to play his Rumble. He loves his Rumble. And we have seen support Rumble even before Smeb came back to the LCK. I think we were seeing it in spring and maybe even the end of last year. But I think he eventually realized, he's like, oh, I can actually just play this here.
Yeah.
The amount of poke that this duo has, you lock someone up, they're just going to be burning like crazy. It's not going to be easy to stop.
And this is certainly going to be interesting for KT. All right. Well,
wow. GG.
Yeah, a little bit of damage coming out there. Not a big deal. But double Scorch here on the side of KT. Really just trying to go for Lane Kingdom. And you can just see Gorilla having a pretty hard time playing as Fate going for a combo. Does manage to proc the Electrocute. This is another one of those games where a cheater could have been accomplished, and instead they're not really going to opt for it. And so aiming already very low on mana. He does have the 3 corrupting potions, but obviously Root and Gorilla, they're doing a pretty good job at just sustaining all together. And now the wave is actually being manipulated. It's coming back into them. Aiming's actually just going to kill the... Okay, they're going to...
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about lane manipulation right now.
Yeah, I don't know why. The only manipulation we need here in this league.
Oh.
Nice little trade. Ucal's really using that shield to good work. Every time LeBlanc hops in, he hops in too. And he's like, well, you want to go? And yeah, the only lane manipulation we need is pushing. That's the one strategy of this league. OnFleek gonna make this lane a little bit more annoying for SoHwan. Can't just push without any consequences up there.
Yeah, and you can see that SoHwan, he's feeling a little bit afraid because he doesn't have enough intel. If Trundle were just here right now, then he could definitely be blowing his flash. He does have phase rush, so that does help out a little bit. And you can really see the pain that's being inflicted down here by aiming and Smeb. Doing a very good job. Proc the Guardian. And they're going to pick up the cannon once more. Fate coming in. Gets the electrocute proc and manages to, Ucal completely donks away an entire cannon and a couple of minions. So, very unfortunate spot where he's just perma-trading, even though that's not the objective of the lane. Now, Fate did TP back in. So, when Ucal ends up coming back, he's going to have a little bit more fighting power. He has Doran's Ring, and he has the Amp Tome, but obviously the Dark Seal does grant a little bit more sustain cookies in his inventory.
Yeah, interesting that he didn't try to pick that up. Dark Seal has a lot of value once you start getting a couple of stacks, and even the potential to switch it into the Magi's later on in the game. But you know, we're not quite on that level here just yet. And we have Gorilla all the way up here trying to protect a control ward in the Pixel Brush. So really trying to do his job as a support and make sure he holds down the vision for his team.
And everything's just ping pong right now. We are in a current episode of Forbidden Love.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
It's back.
It is definitely back. I saw they stole you for Pog's Day one time.
Yeah, you were having a LS, a landlord issue?
Yeah, landlord situation.
Yeah.
Not
and I suppose that situation was handled.
We did.
Yeah, that's good.
I was dying. There was no air conditioning.
How long was that going on? I feel like you told that to me like 2 months ago where you had no air conditioning.
Oh, we were anticipating the summer.
Oh, okay, so you were waiting.
Yeah. It broke in August of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then fortunately the weather cleared up. We never had to fix it, but... Anyways. Speaking about things that are fixing, KT, they pick up a very early Ocean. And that is very scary for SANDBOX, who... Realistically, their team composition peaks around 2 items for almost all of their champions. And they're going to definitely be staring down the barrel of a soul point this game. And if you're SANDBOX, what you really hope for is that after that mountain comes a cloud and not a infernal.
This bottom lane is like... They are not...
I mean, they picked
well.
Senna, Braum into Varus. You deserve to have this happen.
That's true. And then the Senna, as you mentioned, doesn't even really fit in with the comp. So it's like you're picking it so early into a counter matchup with a composition that, you know, doesn't necessarily go super well with it.
It's very off-theme. The champions in the team composition are trying to achieve different things relative to who their opponent's champions are. So that's ultimately all that it's about. And a lot of pressure of this game is going to be on LeBlanc to try to do things with her smoke and mirror gameplay in the mid into late transition, because Wukong, this time around, SoHwan has Summit's number so far. Keeping him underneath the turret. Now, remember, it is Wukong, so if he gets on you, he can potentially almost delete your entire HP bar. SoHwan doing a really good job at just keeping him underneath the turret. Not a whole lot happening. Obviously, Azir with the defensive itemization coming out of him. And Rumble's even going to be very scary against the enemy team in the later stages, even though he is on support. It's going to be very hard to fight against an equalizer, because it's going to act as if Smeb is actually going to become Moses, and he's going to part the Red Sea with the equalizer.
Yeah. Where
SANDBOX are going to get separated from one another trying to fight against the equalizer if Wukong, Trundle, etc. ever try to go into KT.
Yeah, Rumble, you know, he likes stuff that can burn you down, like a Leandries or some pen or something like that. Ucal is really just trying to make this clear that this is their objective. They are going to get it. Here comes Senna with the burst damage from downtown, but bonO able to follow up.
Whoa!
That is a huge knock-up from the Monkey King as Summit gets in there, and he's trying to get this last kill on a Smeb. It doesn't look like, okay, he's diving. He will be able to get it.
Dead. Oh!
And
yeah,
there's the last hit. But he is at least able to pick up that kill.
Yeah.
For
so,
his team.
At the end of it, it still is a nice victory for SANDBOX. KT, I don't know what SoHwan's doing. He's behind enemy lines right now. Gonna come over here. He's gonna auto attack him. OnFleek gonna come over here. Missed ultimate. Not a big deal.
A flash.
Flashed away.
Yeah. A very five-head maneuver there.
It is actually.
Yeah. I would recommend you do not save flash.
Okay.
Yeah. Use it when you need to.
And so Ucal right there with one of the most peculiar ultimates, just trying to really become Faker from the LCK opening intro, summoning the Sand Soldiers. And so Summit capitalizing 3-man. Cyclone and Smeb really wanted Smeb. And this actually surprises me that he was willing to make this decision, because allocating gold over to Rumble is not something that you want to do, even though you're going to accelerate yourself. Now, here's something interesting. He hasn't popped Refillable or Biscuits this whole time, and I wonder... Ooh,
이게 죽네. 아깝다.
I really wonder if the biscuit and the potion all went through.
From the beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Jarvan was there. Jarvan would get it.
Okay.
But still,
yeah.
Jarvan would get the gold rather than Rumble, which is still better.
That is true. Always pop your pots, guys, on time. You want to make sure you get as much value out of that during the extended fight. I mean, he entered the fight without full health, so it should have definitely been taken there. bonO's going to miss the knock-up, and now he's in a really awkward spot. Yeah, well, up in the top lane at the same time, Summit is not taking a great trade. He is going to get solo killed by SoHwan. And that is not what you want to have happen. That is a flash in the way, and that just means that he'll be pushed away.
Yeah.
By Ucal.
And that is, like you just said, it's not what you want to have happen. Now, Summit does have teleport, so he is going to be able to get back to the wave, but the problem is that SoHwan has teleport now. So, he's going to end up getting that turret plate. I think he has Black Cleaver online. And the reason that Jayce is going to go Black Cleaver here is because he's going to land the Shock Blast, Varus shoots the arrow, increased penetration very slightly. But also, against the Wukong, trying to stifle him inside a laning phase, getting as much power as you can super early on. Because the laning phase, it is a bit of a knife fight, but KT, they're going to pick themselves up the mountain.
Yeah, they'll be able to get that essentially for free.
Yeah.
Trundle's doing Raptors right now.
7 armor over to Jarvan. I think 7 armor, and is that 2 MR? Still pretty okay.
I guess so. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, Wukong never gets pen. Neither, well, and obviously Senna gets lethality items, but any little bit of armor is really going to help.
I mean, he saw Fate was in the mid lane.
Yeah,
right?
we don't talk about it. I don't know what he was trying to set up. Here comes teleport.
Okay, well, that's a double teleport. And Fate's like, well, you're on your own, buddy. And so is Root. They're like, yeah, never mind. Actually, we're gonna, we're just gonna leave you there. And now KT, they pick up the kill. They're gonna try to roll this into plates. It's gonna be good timing because there's not much defense. They should easily be able to take this first turret.
Yeah. And KT amassed themselves a 2,500 gold Smeb down here by himself. He's getting to work on that turret.
Yeah, he's a top laner,
Karate chopping it.
He's trying to get some gold.
Yeah.
That aiming has so rudely
Look at
taken
Rumble
from him.
in the cockpit.
Yeah, he's cool.
Says yeah. Potion does get popped.
샀었어. 나이스.
I got it. Nice.
나이스.
And then he went to laugh.
Yeah. And they said nice.
Yeah. And then here, OnFleek and Summit really trying to force the issue. and try to kill SoHwan here. Everyone coming in with the teleports really does hurt them. bonO being here summons the Rift Herald, and that was the follow-up sequences. We jump back into live, still a 2,500 gold lead. Varus is eons ahead of Senna.
He's like in a totally different game.
Yeah.
It's like he's like playing game 3 right now. But he might be punished here, never mind.
Oh,
Varus.
man.
That's going to be unbreakable. OnFleek is now in a really awkward spot, has to flash. He's got Nimbus Cloak. He's really fast with Phase Rush, too. So he's just out of there like lightning.
And Root is trying to just heal up. Honey Fruit, though. Delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Probably like Gushers. You ever have Gusher?
No, well, yes. Okay. That was a very awesome snack for me when I was a kid. Used to have it all the time. Very sugary and nice. But I don't know. I think it would taste like melon. That's
melon
my
Gusher.
guess. No, not melon Gusher.
Okay, melon Gusher. Perfect.
Like like a melon. You know, the green melon.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I know you don't eat fruits. Only Gushers.
Well. Looks like Aiming and Smeb are going to get the bottom tier 1 turret here. And they're just propelling themselves to a very nice advantage. Equalizer!
Okay. He had to heal. In goes the flash. Good response by Root. Root's the same level as Smeb.
Yeah.
And
Varus is 2 levels ahead of Gorilla. So the bot lane is a nightmare. And remember, this was B1 Varus, R1, R2 Senna, Braum. It doesn't quite get as much as saying smack me as that goes. And so the bot lane was set up for a disaster to basically unfold because you give KT pick of the litter for what they want to punish the Senna Braum with. And when you have a Trundle that relies on the laners being strong and proficient themselves in order to set up for them, you're going to have a little bit of an awkward time. And so Jarvan, in this game, can actually function very well on low economy because his laners, Jayce, Azir, and Varus, with the Rumble, are so strong on their own. Jarvan doesn't need econ this game, whereas Trundle, he also has to play low econ, but for different reasons. It's because his laners need to get ahead. The onus is on them to somehow find a way, and obviously LeBlanc can't really offset the pressure of Azir, the wave clear. So Root and Gorilla just falling very, very far behind, and Root's going for a very expensive and heavy build on Senna. So it's even more problematic that this is happening. And so this is going to be the 3rd dragon. We mentioned this very early on in the game. First 5 minutes, or actually no, as soon as the first dragon was taken, at 6, that SANDBOX would be staring at Soul Point as the final fight.
It all comes together. Thank you for, give me the script back. Thank you. And it does feel a little bit like SANDBOX are a bit hopeless. They were able to pick up Shirley here, but he's trying to lay it down top against Jayce, which isn't really working. Summit is a bit behind in that lane. That is going to be the Azir turret actually going down, and there's the Cloud Drake for free. Going over to the side of KT. Jarvan's in need. Anyone else to even have him take that down? And I think we might just enter a little bit of a lull state.
Yeah, a little one. All the turrets are very healthy.
Pretty much full health.
Yeah. And sadly, Wukong went for a Trinity Force, which isn't a bad item on him, but...
They're trying to get Aiming here, and
they got him
stunned and dead. But, okay, they might be able to roll this into mid-tier 1. Looks like they should be able to, as Equalizer will come down. A bit annoying, but they should still be able to get this turret. As they're going to stick around, they pick that one up and get some of that gold that was lying on the map. So they were about 4,000 behind. Now they're only about 2.5. So nice little win going over to the side of SANDBOX. There wasn't any other big objective that they could have tried to go for. No Baron, no Dragon. So they decided the mid-tier 1 is good enough.
And now, as it stands, it's about a 2,500 lead still for KT. Let's take a look at this. Aiming, for some reason, compelled by a Cosmic Force to be in the very middle of the lane, and SANDBOX says, thank you very much. Let us pin you here. And they end up picking up that kill and the assists. They get themselves the turret as well. So a very nice little victory for them. And like what we said super early, Cloud Soul is the one of the game. That is the best possible role for SANDBOX because it means that they still have a chance in the team fights. Because there's no real ultimates on KT that are not situational ultimates. And when you have situational ultimates, it means dances are going to occur. And more often than not, the extra CDR isn't super impactful in the later stages of the game. At least not on these champs.
Yeah, Gorilla's just gonna stopwatch here. They're gonna
they canceled it.
Are able to cancel it, but bonO's got a stopwatch of his own. He's gonna try to flash away. In goes the Wukong, and they do have enough damage, in fact, to take out bonO in the front there, as he had to use flash as well to try to get out of that one, but another kill will be going towards the side of SANDBOX.
And these are very small but very needed victories for SANDBOX, as it looks like. I mean, teleport available on Summit. They want to lose the game over 500 gold.
Gorilla is doing a great job baiting them. He gets so low, but they can't quite get onto Ucal here, who is able to do a nice amount of damage, and now aiming, very protected in the back, trying to kite it back, but here comes Summit. From the bottom side, he doesn't have his ultimate, but he will be able to just burst down aiming, as the equalizer will be annoying, but not annoying enough. And now Smeb over the wall. Thankfully, he's got a blast clone here. And Fate is actually going to continue going in here, and he might actually get burst down. No, he is going to be able to pop back.
They should kill that. It's 25 gold. Ay. Faker would have killed it.
Yeah, he would have. Instead, bonO decided I'd rather take the crooks. It's more my taste. But yeah, it's a nice little team fight one there by SANDBOX. Slowly but surely, they're clawing their way back into this game. I mean, all of a sudden, we have Fate, who's 3-0-2.
This is the thing, though. It's 500 gold, and it's being spread across 5 members. It's not worth it to end up getting it. It's like, yeah, this is exactly what we need to win right now. And Summit's like, yeah, you're right. For us, SANDBOX capitalize on the moment. And then Summit has TP in this, and I'm almost positive he's probably just in disbelief at what's happening right now. As Gorilla does end up going down, but it's such a disjointed and completely absent-minded fight by KT, and SANDBOX can't help but smile and be like, yes, this is exactly what we need if we're going to have a chance inside of this game. And very big pickups all around.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, it's only kills, but it's giving so much to the side of SANDBOX. The gold, they're going for it again. bonO in trouble. That's a really nice equalizer, but he has 0 health. That is a support rumble. He doesn't have a lot of health and a lot of levels down there, so he's just going to pop like a balloon. As this GLP pickup on Fate is actually doing some good work. He's 4-0-2. He is very difficult to kill. It's so hard to kill that LeBlanc right now with the item selection he went for. 10 stacks on his Dark Seal. And SANDBOX say, well, now the Cloud Drake is ours.
Yeah. And they're going to pick up the first dragon of the game for themselves. And this will be interesting if they can get all the way to 4. That would be quite nice.
That would be pretty insane.
And let's take a look at this again. And Jayce is top lane.
Why are they going to the enemy jungle?
I have no idea, Valdez, but SANDBOX are very happy.
Yeah, they're just whacking it up.
The thing is if you're KT and you ask yourselves, well, what does SANDBOX want right now? Not what do they need, what do they want? And KT are like, oh, yes, let's give it to them. Over and over. And SANDBOX always ready to pounce on it and capture, and they're doing so, and they've managed to recover this game to now less than a 1,000 gold advantage. Obviously, Mountain Dragon's there. It's adding a little bit of extra stats. And Azir, Ucal seems to have Morello. Oh, well, I guess there's Senna and Trundle, and Wukong is going for Death Stance, but he's going to complete it. Mage Eyes on LeBlanc, really, really good.
Yeah.
Miramon now completed as well for Root. This is going to be very very, very close fight where KT now, they need to stall the game out for about another 10 minutes.
Oh, again! Again! But this time bonO, he's at least going to get the Cataclysm just to add on to the sadness that is the Jarvan in this game. To no benefit in the team fight, just dies. And the Equalizers, I mean, they're just kind of being thrown out with 0 follow-up. One of their members dies immediately. And these team fights are so broken for KT that SANDBOX every single time, they just look so much more coordinated.
Yeah.
And they're getting the picks that they need. KT's kind of just standing out in the lane, giving it to them.
And LeBlanc got some ability power off that pick as well. So very nice. They're going to get the turret, and with that, they're going to get the gold lead back for them.
You know what this is? I think it's Yamato's. His massive brain power is creating a wave of gravity against KT that is actually
a black hole, a vortex,
pulling them over to the side of the map where SANDBOX is on because of his massive brain. I think that's the reason. That's really the only explanation.
Hooked up to a generator.
Yeah. We have the power here. He is the Yamato cannon. It's now fully operational. SANDBOX are just somehow willing KT to get into these weird spots. I mean, you don't gotta be there.
I'm at a loss for words on what bonO has been doing so many times inside of this game. And so, gold score, very, very even. SANDBOX with about a 300, 400 gold advantage at this point. This is going to be the strongest that they ever are in relation to KT. So, let's see what ends up happening. I mean, the Azir has just been very underwhelming as well out of Ucal.
Yeah. The Azir, the Jarvan. I mean, Jayce and Varus are doing a decent job of poking. I mean, they're not getting much value because there's no follow-up after it. And SANDBOX are putting themselves in positions to get the picks and get out. Or to, you know, not just idle around the lane like sometimes teams do against poke comps. SANDBOX isn't doing that, so they're playing pretty well to try to claw their way back into this game, and KT are allowing them to.
Well, at this point, okay, SoHwan trying to come down. Summit manages to dodge that. Does a lot of damage. Actually bites back a little bit better than SoHwan does. And SoHwan's also down a level. Root went from being down 2 levels to now even with aiming. Gorilla, likewise, down 2 levels, even or ahead of Smeb now. The levels are definitely a problem as well. SANDBOX picked themselves up the Scuttle Crab. They're going to have that available for them now. At this fight, this is completely even gold, and this fight will absolutely, surely, positively, probably decide the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of percentage towards deciding the game. I don't think I've ever heard that much.
Yeah.
That is a really cool pillar. And here's the TP. Oh, they're trying to turn off the Summit here. That's a fantastic Chains of Corruption. With the Equalizer follow-up, KT are fighting back against this one very well. They're able to kite back. The Summit just going to go for the second spin. Shock Blast will go wide. Fate is really the carry here. He's going to get the chain shot to Aiming, who is so low, and he immediately goes down. And see you later to that Varus that got so fat. The Emperor's Divide, the 0 in the fight. And that is just a wombo combo mess in the middle. That is a total ace. And they're going to try to end. I don't know. They're kind of not sure what to go for here. They're going to go for the 2 objectives.
Indecisive for what they want to do. And you just see Azir in these team fights. He's doing nothing. He has 100% hit rate, though, on the Emperor's Divide versus Oxygen.
True.
And so that is one thing that Ucal has going for him. SANDBOX now, they pick themselves up. The second cloud, they get a 3,000 gold lead. They're going to get Baron as well.
It's crazy how SANDBOX have been able to claw their way back into this one. 22 stacks now on the Magi's for this LeBlanc, and the second you saw the LeBlanc get on top of Varus, you knew it was over.
So it actually, I mean, Aiming played this pretty well. He shoots the Chains of Corruption, Gorilla goes for the flash ult, and then, pay attention here, he shoots an arrow, he walks back up, but there's a ward on top of him, so eventually Fate manages to get around onto Varus. Now, if he went a different angle, I'm not sure if the second tether actually connects, but he dies anyway. And then Azir is doing literally nothing. Actually, just...
Yeah. If I was new to LoL and I saw this game, the amount of power, the gravitational black hole that is created by the absolute mass that is his gigantic brain is allowing SANDBOX to win this one. But yeah, if I was new and I saw Azir, I'd be like, I never want to play this champion. What does this do? It doesn't even do any damage. Like, why is it here? Like, it's cool. It looks like a bird. Okay.
He is a bird.
Yeah.
Well, no, is he a bird?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd like to see what's under the helmet.
Pretty sure he is.
Ooh, that would be a cool skin. Azir without helmet?
Unmasked.
Yeah.
Azir. I thought that was just his head.
I don't know. They could make him a giant bird, like
I mean,
all these...
Faker has the mask of Azir, but I think that's just for the for the opener. I don't know. I thought it was actually just a bird.
All right. Well, maybe when T1 wins Worlds, they get a skin. The helmet like retracts and it's Faker.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Just like the LCK
I don't mind
cinematic. Here we go.
Well, they're finally able to piece together a combo that their ultimate. That's a great ultimate from the Braum to just deny any kind of follow-up from the side of KT. And it's also too little too late. I mean, in goes Summit. There's the double knockup. Aiming doesn't exist in this game anymore. As, okay, they're going to get the Wukong.
Oh?
Trying to chase him down. Smeb actually does a nice amount of damage. And
it ends up being 2 for 2, actually.
Yeah. They're lacking a little bit of range. Fate was low on mana at the same time, even though he has 25 stacks of Jayce. That is pretty gross. Still able to at least get a couple of kills, as we'll take another look, I suppose, at what you would expect from this comp about 20 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, this is the combo that they should be going for, is Cataclysm Equalizer. And then it basically lines up perfectly for Varus and Azir to try to do damage. I mean, you can also do it defensively, but they've been so disjointed this whole time. Now, they managed to stave off SANDBOX for the time being. That's going to be the end of the Baron power play. And so at the end of it, SANDBOX are ahead about 5.5k. Azir finally picks up a Void Staff, and so he will be able to chew through the magic resist on the enemy team. Executioner's also picked up on Varus. And really, I don't know what is going to end up happening inside of this game because KT have been so disjointed. Lord Dominic's Regard picked up by SoHwan. See what his next item is going to end up actually being 25 stacks Magi on LeBlanc.
And he just finished
and he has
his
a
death cap. I think anyone is fair game on the side of KT right now. If he sees anyone. Although that's not necessarily the way to do it. At least he gets the ultimate out of Varus. But he had to burn his flash to get out of there. He wants to make sure he doesn't die and lose 10 stacks. So he's going to play a little bit safer than normal.
And, well, looks like SANDBOX are posturing. They're being very safe and reserved right now. And so KT down 6.5. They're going to end up being forced to give over. I want to see LeBlanc. I believe LeBlanc's ultimate is like 12.6. With
you can see it counting down. Yeah, it's like 12.
I think it's 12.6. If memory serves me correct. Let's see. Will he use it?
Nope.
No? Unfortunate. It's because of you, actually.
Yeah. I was watching you closely.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, I forgive you.
Thanks.
Atlas wouldn't forgive you. I forgive you.
And, I mean, we're only 5 minutes away from another Cloud Drake, the Cloud Soul, going to SANDBOX. They're just going to have pretty insane amount of reduction.
Oh, SoHwan's going to be careful. Okay, so he pops the Banshee's Veil, but obviously things do get a little bit dicey. Now, both of them can actually one-shot each other. That is something that you have to consider. SANDBOX, though, they're just posturing around, and their gold advantage is helping them right now with their recipe items. LeBlanc now is going to be stuck. This is going to be the end of LeBlanc's power. He does have the stopwatch finally.
Oh, we're going in.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I saw a pillar come down. But, just trying to poke a little bit. You know, LeBlanc can become very pokey, especially once she becomes this insanely fed. As Fancy Veil is pretty good against the Emperor's Divide, but he's not going to overstay his welcome with the immediate rotation from KT. And with Baron available, they're just going to try to run over there. But Ucal does have TP. We got 3 TPs here on the side of KT.
bonO's down 2 levels, 1 in mid, 1 in 80 carry. And top laners are even. Oh, man.
Oh!
Ooh.
Spotted Summit.
Yeah, found Summit. Fate looking for a multi-man distortion.
Oh, that's a great pillar. SoHwan has to flash over it.
Oh, this is very scary. You can see the Phalanx being held by KT.
Okay.
All right, they got the ward.
Jeez.
But trying to fight against Rumble in this narrow corridor. Rumble looks like he's trying to make it to Void Staff, actually. He might be very close. And, wow, that is a harpoon.
Yeah.
So, okay, Baron is started up. This is honestly very scary. Fate. Oh, gonna get on.
They're gonna try to get on top of SoHwan here.
Yeah,
they should have the damage. There it is. Summit gets in, and SoHwan was all alone, trying to take a different angle and get some shock blasts in. But that's just gonna mean, I mean, they have so much pick potential with super fed LeBlanc and Wukong hanging around. You can't just try to face check. But there wasn't too much that SoHwan could hope for with all the vision denial. And that is just going to be the Baron going their way. SANDBOX will get a second one here. Very careful about the way they're going to try to take this game down. They're not rushing anything.
And it looks like Azir is trying to get to the Rabadon's Death Cap as his next item. Jayce has been stuck on Warhammer for a long time. I'm not sure if he has any inventory. I'm very surprised why they're not allocating gold towards Smeb, given that he must be so close, I assume, to Void. Or even Morello, I guess. They could probably pick that up, multi-man equalizer, and I guess get some value out of it there. But 1 minute until Cloud Soul. And you can see Azir shoving out bot wave.
Okay, Fade.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
It's one distortion. It was a mimic distortion, but like, he's really chunking him out. LeBlanc is turning into a poke jam.
Azir's here.
Okay, they're going to get this one turret, as Fade is just trying to poke him down as well as possible. The slow and steady advance here. As, okay, we're going to get that combo once again, but Smeb pretty low in the backline. Summit is doing so much to knock them all up. Ucal, a little bit too little too late, as Summit is just going to try to zone him away, as Root and Fate will take down this Nexus, and that is a 2-0 from SANDBOX.